Good morning, everybody. It's a very good morning that at least we have today once again. By the power and the greatness of God the Father, we again woke up today to this greatness and to the power of glory the Father Himself. Today, I want to talk about something that is quite important as well. But today, I'm going to raise the points of correction, especially for Dr. Kambwili, one of the very powerful politicians, the comrade of Zambia here in the Republic of Zambia. I want to talk about this. I want to bring out some few points of corrections on the part of Dr. Kambwili and what he had to bring out the time that he had the press briefing yesterday, in line with the special address which the Republican president of Zambia had yesterday. I was following very well according to the way that he was coming out, but I would like maybe to bring him a little bit in line. Of course, I thank God the Father that at least he had to come out to say, I stand to be challenged. I cannot challenge him, but I am just trying to bring in few of the points of correction where I feel as well I may contribute and try to bring him into the right track or realize certain things and certain hiccups on how we are supposed to stand as Zambians and as people, at least who have reached this far after the excruciating pandemic of coronavirus broke out here in Zambia and subsequently the whole world. Dr. Chimba Kambwili spoke and talked about the examination classes, which he completely condemned the Republican president to say it was a misplaced decision for the president to come out in that way or to bring out that decision at this particular time. My point of correction at this, it is standing in this way. Dr. Kambwili, look at this. You rose the issue of saying the pupils are overpopulated in each and every class. Example you gave was at least one class is having 75 to 80 pupils. And the president announced that only examinations classes that are supposed to be reporting starting from the 1st June 2020. My main concern is, I'll give an example of Kasam Boys where I was. At Kasam Boys, there are 5 classes for grade 8, 5 classes for grade 9, 5 classes for grade 10s, 5 classes for grade 11s, 5 classes for grade 12s. In case you forgot, doctor, don't you think that these 2 grades can easily be accommodated at a school where the non-examination classes can easily be resting at home, and only these 2 classes, examination classes, can easily be accommodated and continue observing very well the social distance and follow the precautions of the Ministry of Health and everything that is doing? I think on that one, doctor, I don't know how you had to realize on that one and or how you thought about it. I feel it is a right way. It is not that a risk that we are risking. What you need to understand is coronavirus has come and it has come for good. It is part of us. Can we continue sleeping? That should not be the case. At the same time, can we completely close? If coronavirus is going to be 1 year continuing in this same capacity, does it mean schools should be closed and the education should be completely stopped? Not at all, doctor. So on that one, I would like to correct you on that way. We still have ample time that at least the children in the examination classes, they can easily attend classes observing the social distance, and observing every precaution which are already put in place by the Ministry of Education. One thing, you gave an example of the UK where your children are schooling. Doctor, there is one thing that I would like you to know on this one to say. As you can see that coronavirus pandemic has affected a lot of people in the Western world who have got the best equipment of the hospitals and other equipment that they can use in order for them to cure coronavirus. But what has happened? It has proved them wrong. No matter how they have got best equipment, but they are the ones who are dying like animals. Africa doesn't have good equipment, but it is the one which is completely safeguarded. Do you think this type of the knowledge is coming from the human or scientific perception? The answer that I would like you to realize is this is not anything that comes from the scientific perception. It comes from the divine power of God the Father himself, because God the Father has proved himself on the face of the earth by uplifting Africa, that Africa is highly protected by the divine power of God the Father. So those assumptions that you said, UK are facing a lot of problems where your children are learning. That one, I would beg you to withdraw that type of the statement, because in all the things, Africa is Africa and UK is UK. These are total different types of the continents, or the total different types of the places where I believe you are agreeing with me. UK is totally different and Africa is totally different. And UK, they are dying where they have the best equipment of the health facilities. Africa, they are not dying like animals where they have got the poor of the poorest equipment of the health sector. Can't you see something that there is a divine power there upon Africa? I would like you to move in that way instead of standing and remaining in the perspective of the scientific proofs. Not only that, yes, what I would like you to know is, you said we don't have the special equipment that we can use. What I would like you to know is the equipment, the scientific equipment of this world. Yes, we may not have the scientific equipment which are good, but what I can tell you is we have got the best God whom we serve in Africa. And for that reason, this God the Father is the one that is truly protecting Africa, and is the one that is defending Africa, is the one that is even healing all those that have been quarantined as a result of being tested positive. So I would like you to understand this perception. I would like you to understand this type of a thing to say. We don't have best equipment, but we have got the best God the Father who can easily heal and even help you in one way or another. Dr. Shimba Kambwili brought about this other point where he said, it is very dangerous that if the mass screening all over the nation can easily be conducted in the country of Zambia, which can bring about a lot of the people being discovered or being diagnosed with the coronavirus. Doctor, I would like you to understand it in this way. Currently, we don't have any records in whatsoever the provinces that this province, that province, and that province, the people are dying as a result of suspected coronavirus. They are not dying. Take it this way. If this screening can easily be carried out now, and it's discovered that a lot of people are positive to coronavirus, may I borrow some words which Dr. Pombe Magufuli, the president of Tanzania, said? It simply means there is something fishing behind either the medical personnel who are carrying out the testings, and there is something fishing behind the equipments which are being used. This is why Dr. John Pombe Magufuli said Don't rely and don't even use this type of the things which are coming from the Western world in the name of helping, because these things, they have been prepared for the purpose of wanting to infect Africa and reduce the population of Africa. Thinking in the line, doctor, that you thought, I thought you could have maybe analyzed before you came out in the way that you had to come out. Otherwise, if corona diagnosis can easily be carried out today in Zambia and it is discovered that a lot of people are positive to coronavirus, then there must be something wrong with the medical personnel or with the equipments which are used, which are coming from China. And that simply means Zambia does not have any infection of coronavirus because already the things are already inverted commas. You came out to say, if I understood very well, the way that you spoke, Dr. Kambwili, you spoke and you said, it's better to continue locking down the nation, not opening the schools, not opening some other types of the sectors, so that we can keep on waiting until we completely eradicate coronavirus. Doctor, I would not like to use a certain word, but that is being myopic, to be frank. I still go back to Dr. Joseph Pombe Magufuli, who came out very openly to say, Corona has come and it has found us. It is us who are supposed to come out in a very special way that we need to do certain perfect things to prevent the well-being of the poor people, preventing the well-being of the common Zambian, preventing the well-being of a person who depends on the hand-to-mouth type of the living. Doctor, it has disheartened my heart because the way that you came out, proudly said, your children are in UK. Even if we can be quarantined for 3 years, doctor, you can easily survive. Are you able to think of a poor person who lives in Shangombo? Have you considered a poor person who lives in Petauke in Itasala 3? Have you considered a brother who lives in Chiturika village, who does not have the money that you have, that you reach up to the extent of sending your children to UK, who only depend, at least when they do the peace work? If this quarantinization can easily continue, do you think these people can easily survive? Doctor, I give you respect, and for sure I have got a great regard because you are well learned and understanding things and bringing out in a very special, bringing out issues in a very special way. But on this one, I felt a little bit that you had to think of yourself without thinking the poor. What I was expecting from you is to emulate the late President Michael Sata, may his soul rest in peace, where he had that heart. He considered first the poor. He considered first those people who are downtrodden. He considered their well-being so that at least they can find means and ways in which they can easily survive in this midst of the pandemic. How I wish if he was alive. Doctor, I think you had to misplace that point. Better, a good leader, we see him when he easily sacrifices, when he easily stands out to protect the integrity of the poorest in the nation, just like Pombe Magufuli as he stood. The poor needs to open, and this pandemic has come. We don't know when it is going. It's better we stand out and move out so that God the Father should help and stand to the group of God the Father and eradicate this, because scientists and medical doctors have completely failed to find the cure of this. You talked about something in relation with the casinos and the bars. Casinos are totally different. People who are found in casinos are of great, they have got a lot of money. The people who are found in bars are those people who are downtrodden that live in most of the compounds. So you cannot compare that one to the casinos. The casinos contribute a lot to the well-being of the nation and to the economy of the nation. The bars, they contribute, but not at that level. Doc, on that one, you had to move out of the words completely. Not only that, you defined that there is a lot of money that is involved in casinos, but in bars, not a lot that money that is being involved. But they do contribute, but at the greater and the lower level. Yes, you spoke very well to say it was very good to consult from the stakeholders, such as the people who are restaurants, people who are running barbershops, so that you can find the ways on how they can easily be helped in a system that at least you stand out to help those people. What have you done yourself? Currently, we are just listening and understanding to say, you have taken your children to UK where they have been quarantined that side, they are enjoying. Have you come up with the logistics that you can easily think of the poor or the poorest in the way that at least they need to have something at the end of it? What type of restaurant owner that you have helped so that at least it brings a source of income? That was a brilliant idea. But a good leader always leads by example. For sure, this is a thing that you're supposed to be taken. How I wish that even the children that you have in UK learning there, you can easily lead by example by putting them in one of the common secondary schools or one of the schools that are here in Zambia, so that you can bring out and speak out positive things, so that the people of Zambia can easily feel that indeed you feel for them and you are with them, you live with them and you think for them, and at least you bring every aspect of their life at your heart. But for myself, Doc, I really feel for such type of a sentiment that you had to speak. Yes, the scientists, they have spoken that coronavirus thrives very well in cold season, in the cold places. I would like to correct it in this way. The scientists and the medical doctors have completely failed to bring out the cure of coronavirus. And they have brought about ideas to say this coronavirus is likely to be thriving very well in the cold season. And June, that can be the one. Doc, I would urge you not to stand on theories, because that is a very good example of a theory. It is just a theory. For as long as they have completely failed to find the cure, it simply means everything which they bring about, they are just assumptions. They are just types of the theories that either can easily be taken or not. They cannot easily be taken. If they cannot be taken, if you take them as a gospel truth for yourself, then you are likely to doom yourself, Doc. Because for as long as they have completely failed to bring about the theory, they are only bringing about the preventions. And those preventions are assumptions. An assumption can easily be believed or it cannot be believed. It depends on the personality of a person. Don't tell the people to say, it does this and does this, it does this. The precautions that are there, we can easily make use of them. But what I would like you to realize and understand is God the Father is above all, everything and everything here in Zambia. And you know, when you spoke about this brother who died, do we know that the death is coming today? Who knows that the death is coming today? There is no one, not even yourself. Who knows that maybe you may die anytime? But do we know to say this such type of a thinking? Is it? Yes. The government had to err because such type of the trip was supposed to be given respect and the proper attention. But you might not know. If you dig deeper, you will find that maybe the brother had enough transport to use a better system of transportation, but he opted to do this. What can you do that? How can you say about such type of a thing? The Chinese masks, you have talked about that they can only be used once and they are disposed. You are right. This is a time that we can empower our common tailors who have been able to sew very good face masks. Are there some chemicals added to the face masks? The answer is they are not. Why are we wearing the face masks? We are wearing the face masks to prevent the saliva and the contacts of certain types of things that can easily come quickly into the mouth and the nose, so that you can breathe in and, you know, get that virus. It does not contain any chemicals. It doesn't. So meaning to say, This is the time that you can easily give and advise the tellers that at least they can make use of this particular time. Meaning to say, all the schools, we have got enough tellers in Zambia that can sew the face masks in which each and every child can easily afford at 5 kwacha. Or if you have got that mess enough, go around and distribute at least 20,000. I'm sure for the face masks that are going at 5 kwacha or 2 kwacha, they can accommodate for a number of schools in Zambia. Doctor, with these three things, with few things, I would like to end here as I have put all these corrections. I stand, of course, to be corrected in some ways because I know to say I am not infallible. It's only the God the Father himself who is infallible. As for me, Dr. Ngosa Chishitu, thank you very much.